Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! Just be bullish. Bam bam. Dan, Namza, Sam. Yo! What's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? We're going to talk some short-term price action today. That's what we're going to do today. Yesterday we talked more about long-term charts. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what we got in the short-term charts. We got the coffee, we got the non-slurping, and we got everything in between. All right, so let's jump on. Let's see what we're going on. Keith, what's going on? Your boy. Hold on one second, guys. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Anyways, Rod, Scotty, Scotty Swing. You guys got any swing trades right now? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Dan, grab your coffee. We're gonna dump. Grab your coffee. Gonna dump. So you guys can see the title of the stream. This price action looks a little bit familiar. All right. So what do we got going on? You guys can see your favorite little BBWP. The BBWP guys love to make jokes about that, but you got that. See, this thing is getting bottomed out, man, which means the Bitcoin price is tighter than, I mean, it's been tight for quite a while. It's been tight for about 6 months now, but on the shorter term time frames, it's getting ready for some type of freaking move, man. All right, so the first thing I want to notice is we go to the daily chart, okay, and we sort of looked at this and we said, okay, you got the 50-day moving average coming down like this, okay, coming down to support. You get the 50-day moving average coming down like this, coming down to support. So you can see that something has got to give here within the next couple of days. And this looks very familiar to me, okay? If you notice what we got going on here, 50-day moving average coming down, you got this upward sloping trend line of this bear flag coming up. So you notice how we had here, we had this bear flag, higher highs, we had higher lows. 50-day moving average was coming down. Okay, and you notice how we almost got squeezed in here, right? 50-day moving average came down, came up, okay? And we got the price coming up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's getting squeezed really, really tight. And then what do we see? We actually saw a little bit of a move up from that point, all right? And same thing down here. We had upward sloping trend line of the price moving up, right? And then we have the 50-day moving average coming down. What you'll notice is this 50-day moving average is getting super, super tight, man. You see this? So something's got to give here in the next couple days, okay? And I know we've been kind of doom and gloom on the long term, right? But this is more a short-term little bit of a sort of a look here, right? So 50-day moving average coming down, upward sloping trend line coming up. Something's got to give here within the next couple of days. Now, last time we got to move up, all right? Last time we had one more touch of the top of the bear flag before actually dumping. What will happen this time? We'll talk about it a little bit. First, let's see what's going on in the little bit of a chat. And let me take a sip of coffee here. Sam said, now getting my coffee. What's going on, Sam Bitchman? Sam Bitchman, what's going on, man? Libar said, not dumping yet. Chris said, doom. Dan said, morning, fam. Alex said, roar. Steppen said, morning. Morning, guys. What's going on? Everyone's still bored as hell. I can tell in the chat. Everyone's still bored as hell. But I think we're getting to that point where I'm looking at this, and I actually think that Bitcoin in the short term gets one more move to the upside here. Right? And I know we've been saying that for like 14 days, and to me, it's not more so much about time frame. It's more about where is the price going to go? Because I'm willing to, say if I'm in a long position here, I'm willing to wait that out for a move up to the upside. And same thing, if I'm in a short, well, at this point, you've kind of been waiting it out for 2 weeks, right? So I'm looking at this and say, okay, the next couple of days, Bitcoin gets a move because it's going to get squeezed here. Either it's going to have to get a move to the downside and come and test the lows, or it's going to probably come back up and take this liquidity that we've been waiting for 2 weeks now, for 2 freaking weeks, and sort of back to the upside in the short term. So same thing, right? We look at the 12-hour time frame. You got BBWP that is bottomed out, ready for a move here. Look at this thing. This thing is so bottom. This thing has been bottomed out for quite a while, which means volatility has been low for quite a while. We know this. This is on the 12-hour time frame. Look at how low this has been, man. And it's the same exact position as when Bitcoin was up here. You notice how in the same spot that we talked about on October 24th, which was right here, Bitcoin was getting squeezed between the 50-day and the upward sloping trend line. We go back over here. What was happening on October 24th? Which was right here, right? That was a super boring time, right? Sentiment was super, super low. You guys remember over here. You remember over here, man. I was calling for a little bit of a pump. You guys were saying, no way, no way. Where's that going to come from, right? Sentiment was so freaking low over here, right? It was more boring than I guess, bad. It was bad and boring, I guess. But you'll notice that the BBWP was also bottomed out over here on October 24th, right? And everyone was saying, there's no way you get a little move to the upside. And what do you know? All those shorts got taken out and then it dumped. And I'm expecting something similar to that, to be honest. And that doesn't kind of change the medium term sort of doom and gloom. But for a short term move up, I could see Bitcoin, it's got to get over this mid range at 17K. This 17K level has been freaking brutal, man. We could have no chance of getting over this in the last 2 weeks. But same thing. I'm looking for a move up to come back up here to test some of these higher levels. I'm gonna be honest. So let's see what happens in the short term. But man, we just got to get through this boring action. You got to pick. Let me see. Say upward sloping trend line 5 times fast. Upward sloping trend line. Upward sloping trend line. Upward sloping trend line. Upward sloping trend line. Oh my lord, that's impossible. Upward sloping trend line. Upward sloper. Hold on. We got this, guys. We got this. Upward sloping trend line, upward sloping trend line, upward sloping trend line, upward sloping trend line, upward sloping trend line. It was pretty close. It was pretty close. But anyways, guys, that doesn't change my outlook, right? I still think Bitcoin goes sideways / you got to separate time frames, right? People get confused. They say, oh, Jordan, you said yesterday you're bearish. Okay, short term, you can get a move up that doesn't change the overall outlook. The overall outlook for me is Bitcoin continues to go sideways for the last month. That's not the popular thing to say. Everyone wants to hear Bitcoin's going to the moon. You don't get clicks when you say Bitcoin's going to be boring, but let's be honest, we've been saying that for weeks and Bitcoin hasn't done shit in weeks. All right, so that's about where we're at. All right, so you got to get through these next couple weeks still. Yeah, Bitcoin can get a move up. Okay, cool. Bitcoin can get a move up. Does that really get you anywhere? No, it doesn't really get you anywhere, man. It doesn't really get you anywhere. Bitcoin can get all the way up to 18,200 and it doesn't really get you anywhere, you know? But I will say this. Though I don't really expect anything crazy the next couple weeks to even the next couple months possibly. This could be something that we form. Like if Bitcoin comes back up and tests the highs here, if it does, right? We don't know if it's going to do that. Let's be honest. The DXY is at support, right? When the DXY is at support, it's tough to get really bullish, you know, for like multiple weeks. But a couple days, I could see it. If Bitcoin can get a bounce here, okay, and then it gets rejected, it comes back down, could it start to form, you know, this higher low structure over the course of the next couple weeks and then get a move up? Yeah, but this could still take a long time, man, a long freaking time for this to play out, okay? And just remember, it's hard to get super bullish when the DXY is at a weekly support level. You know, high, 50-week moving average. It's tough to get super bullish right here. You know, for on the weekly, monthly stuff like that. On the daily, okay, maybe you get a little move up, but the DXY looks like, you know, it looks like it wants to break through right now. It's Thursday. Let's see where we close tomorrow. I still think this gets a bounce here, if it's me personally, you know. Let's see. Keith said, "Do you see those, Keith? Do you see those?" Deliciousness today. Drew, he said, "Good morning, Bath. Good morning, Roddy. Roddy, what's going on, buddy? Will the DXY go up and form an M formation before going back down?" I think so. I still think, for me personally, I think the DXY comes up on the weekly time frame. Once again, separate time frames, okay? Daily's different than the weekly, monthly, things like that. DXY, I still expect the bounce. Maybe not that high. I mean, a little bit of a bounce here just makes so much sense. I don't see it just smashing through this unless you get some crazy news. If you get some crazy news, okay. You know, what could that news be? I don't know. Something with China, something with, you know, some crazy news. Maybe that sort of gets the DXY to come down here. But if everything stays the way it is right now, I'm still expecting a bounce in the DXY at the end of the day. You know, what do you say? Let me see. TA on the receding hairline. Right here. Actually, it's actually holding up pretty well right now. Right? If you guys wanted to hedge against inflation, the hairline has been a hedge against inflation. I think it's at the same point it was in November 2020 at the all-time highs. Now, it's a hedge against inflation. So if inflation starts coming back down, this is going to slowly start coming back here. Slowly. Going to start making its way back. Probably the point where I start probably going bald is when the hair gets to my ear. So if the hair starts getting to my ear, right? So if this point, you see this point right here? If this point gets to my ear, then that's probably when I start going bald. Up until then, I'm keeping the hair. Nothing's changed, and we're going to continue to go with the same haircut until the point gets to the ear. That's when you know it's got to go. Like, yes, if you're one of those guys that has hair, okay, and the whole top of it is gone, and you just have the sides, it's like you got to just let it go. You got to let it go. Trust me. You're going to look better bald than having the cove haircut, okay? Just shave it all off, okay? There is 0 point in having no hair on the top, sides, okay? Get rid of all of it. None. Looks like it's bouncing up to 618. Good. But anyways, now we wait for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, okay, it's up 0.5% today. Woohoo! Yesterday it was down 1%. It was crashing. All I heard yesterday was Bitcoin was crashing. Guys, Bitcoin it's not doing anything, but I think it's getting ready for something. But it's not doing anything right now. I can't get excited over this. Just like yesterday, I wasn't going to get oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing. It's down 1%. Like I told you yesterday, I opened up Twitter. People were saying Bitcoin was crashing. And I was in awe. And today, I bet if I open up Twitter, I haven't even looked at Twitter yet. I bet if I open up Twitter and Bitcoin gets up to like 16,700, I bet people are saying Bitcoin is pumping. I bet. And that's the state of the market that we're currently in. It's just overall emotions. People just want to move, right? So they're going to sort of say, oh, Bitcoin's pumping or crashing based off $200 moves. That's about where we're at. Let's see. It's a skullet. They're awesome. No, a skullet is not awesome, man. A skullet is like having, I guess, it's like having the goatee now, right? The goatee, no one has goatees anymore, okay? A goatee is like the equivalent to the skullet. Okay, lose the skullet, man. No, doesn't the skullet have the hair on the back? I'm pretty sure. Lupus, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Anyways, I guess, man, I guess we look over here. Let's go to the weekly. The weekly also getting ready. I mean, I will say this, guys. We've been saying this for a while, right? But I do think the overall next big move is going to be a big move. You guys know my opinion. I think, stocks could continue to get absolutely destroyed. But I think Bitcoin's actually going to end up holding up through that time, right? And, it's sort of like reversing everything. I think Bitcoin has came down a lot. I still think it could come down a little bit more. But my point still remains. I think these stocks like Tesla, Google, Apple, Amazon, these big boys, okay, are going to continue to lose against Bitcoin. I'm making that bold call, man. I'm making that bold call, and I continue to say this. And I'm going to say this. I think the next big move for Bitcoin is going to be one of the biggest moves that we've ever seen for crypto. And I'm going to stand by that, right? Because, we look at all the momentum indicators. Not so much momentum indicators, but volatility indicators. They're all so low, right? And they've been so low for so long that it's like a springboard, just waiting to be sprung. Now, it doesn't mean it has to happen right now. We've been waiting for this for 6-7 months at this point. It doesn't mean you can't be waiting for this for another 6 months, and you sort of continue to compress this. But when you look at anything, the BBWP on the 2-week, on the weekly, on the monthly, these things are all getting ready for something. Which direction? A lot of people will say down. I still think Bitcoin could continue down in the short term. By short term, I mean the next maybe 2 months, 3 months or something like that. Still think that's possible. But my overall take. Like you look at the BBWP. This is the BBWP. The BBWP on the 2-week. This thing is getting ready to cross back to the upside. When you've had moves like that in the past, they've been pretty freaking massive moves, right? May of 2022, massive move here. 30K down to 17K. October 2020, you've seen 12K up to 69K. Sort of November 2018, 6K down to 3K. You've seen 50+% moves during times like this. It's just when is it going to happen? When? W-E-N, right? When moon? When capitulation? We're all waiting for it. We're all chilling. My take is Bitcoin continues to grind it out, at least for a little bit longer, and that's not fun. That's not fun. You guys will probably miss Moonboy Jordan here, but I think we continue to grind it out, right? Maybe we get a move up, we continue down a little bit, we continue to grind it out. MACD on the 2-week continues to grind it out, and we just grind it out into 2023. Maybe not like that much. Maybe we go, like up, down, something like this, and then we start to make our way up. But at least another couple weeks to months of grind, boringness, and just getting everyone boarded out, man. You can see it in the chat. Look at the chat right now. Look at the chat. It's slower than crazy. It's slower than molasses in here. And that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be more of that. It's going to be more of that. Slow as molasses. He should be, when the markets turn, they are going to turn hard. Oh, I agree. I agree. As soon as the market turn, it's going to leave everyone who in the dust that is not currently in the market. Doesn't have to be now, though, right? That can be a month down the line, 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year down the line. We have no idea. But I agree. When the market decides that, okay, this is the bottom, I think it's going to turn very, very hard. Very, very hard. Me personally. Because, like I said, 2023 is the most predicted bad year of all time. Everyone expects it to be a bad year. When has the herd ever been correct? Usually never. But maybe 2023 is the year that everyone is correct. We'll see. We'll see. They could be correct for the first half of the year and wrong for the second half of the year. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, man, guys, it's hard for me to get excited about this price action, man. It really, really is. It really, really is. Though I do think we're going to see some type of squeeze here. I could see a short squeeze because shorts are building up at the current moment. And you're getting a squeeze in price. Or upward sloping trend line, 50-day moving average. Like I said, last time you had that, it was right here. It was the same sentiment as right now, right? Bored, bearish. How could it ever go up? There's no reason for a move up. It was the same sentiment. It was right here. I remember. And that's why I'm still sticking to my guns that you see a short-term move up before a move down. I said you can call me crazy. And it's not going to be the most exciting move, right? Even if you do get a move up, it's not going to be that exciting. It's not. It's going to be something like this. You come up and test the top of the bear flag again, just like over here. Maybe you come back up, test the top of the bear flag again, and it's just like, okay, here we go. Ring around the rosy again. But that's about where we're at. Let's talk the Lions Super Bowl victory. The Lions Super Bowl victory. Just trying to get rid of this dumb notification to use this milestone. True, Drunk Bear. True. Appreciate you for being here, man. Let me see. 40K at the halving. 100K top of cycle in 2025. I'm going to say Bitcoin will be at... it all depends on what happens this year. I'll say I think Bitcoin will be somewhere between 35K at the halving next year. So about a year and 3 months away, I think Bitcoin will be at 35K. Nothing crazy, just based off where we've been in the past. It's a very logical take just from where we've been in the past. Just wait, we ain't done yet. Oh, we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. I've been prepared for this boring action. I don't think most people have been prepared for this boring action. I've been saying for weeks, I think until the end of January, Bitcoin's going to be mostly boring. It's going to be choppy. And by the time we're out of it, I think by the end of January, it's going to be a ghost town in this. It's going to be a ghost town in the whole crypto world by the end of January. An absolute ghost town. Just like it was in 2019. Which... it's exactly what I want, to be honest. The less people that I see in crypto, the better. I know that sounds backwards, but I like it that way. I like it that way during times like this. Let me see. Let's just take a rough estimate. 30K is the rough estimate. 30K. 30K, man. And I guess we could check out Ethereum, too. Probably going to be a quicker morning stream this morning. There's not really much going on, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and act like a 0.5% move is changing anything, because it's really not, to be honest. For the record, I am bald, and Roddy, are you completely? But Rodney, you're not. You don't have the cove though. You're bald. There's no problem with being bald. I have a problem with the cove, with the side and the back, but no top. Like you can't be pulling that. No one looks good with that haircut. No one looks good with that haircut. If you have that haircut, you're gonna look better bald. Just go for it. I'm telling you. I'm trying to do you a favor. Just go bald. You'll probably add at least 1 to 2 points if you go bald. I'm telling you right now. Okay? It's like if you have a goatee. Just either grow some hair on your cheeks, too, right, to add on this goatee, or just shave it off. You probably add 1 to 2 points. Just saying. Let's see. I had to shave it. Of course you did, Roddy. You had to shave it, man. You had to shave it. All right, Ethereum. What do we got? Ethereum. Same deal as Bitcoin, right? I mean, I look at this and I say, okay, you know, you sort of got an upward sloping trend. You know what I'll say about this price action? Obviously, right now, you're seeing sort of capitulation in the stock market, right? You don't really see it on like the S&P and the NASDAQ, but individual stocks, you're seeing absolute capitulation and desperation right now. Like we said, you're seeing Tesla down 60% in the last 2 months, Amazon down 50% in the last 2 months. You're seeing you don't really notice it when you look at the S&P and the NASDAQ and things like that, but when you look at, like I said, individual stocks, you're seeing that hardcore capitulation. You know what I'll say about this though? I look at the Bitcoin and ETH price action, and actually kind of, you know, it's not that I kind of like it. I like the short-term price. The weekly and the monthly still look like shit. Okay, they'll still look like shit. But the daily time frame, and as we sort of get through this, we got to get through this mid-range right here. But I look at this. If ETH can break through this mid-range, which it's been so annoying with this mid-range since, you know, really since the middle of December here, you got sort of this low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and if it can break through here, and at least come back up to this range, you've gotten one rejection, two rejections. All of a sudden, you're kind of painting out a sort of an. I use the word bullish very, very lightly because at the end of the day, we're still in a bear market. Bullish patterns can break down in bear markets, right? Always remember that. Like I said, bullish patterns often break down in bear markets. But what I'll say is, all of a sudden, you start to kind of paint out this horizontal resistance and upward sloping trend line. Now, this tells me that, okay, my theory, Bitcoin and ETH start getting a little bit of a move up towards the end of January to February. And this kind of supports it too. If you look at ETH, if it comes back up here, it just continues to chop and go sideways through January. This kind of plays out like this. Now, this is sort of projecting very far into the future, but I like to find things that kind of support my theory per se. Okay. And if this continues to play out, like I said, if this breaks the mid-range, I'll be more convinced that this is a thing. If this obviously this dumps, that's invalidated, but something's going to give here in the next couple of days as well for ETH. You're getting squeezed between the mid-range and the upward sloping trend line. I would say within the next 3-4 days, you should see a move out of this stupid thing here. So we'll see, right? I look at this and I say, okay, this looks interesting, right? I'll say interesting. We obviously need everything to go our way. We can't have any bad news in the next month if we want this to play out. If we get any bad news, you can throw this in the trash can. But I look at this and say upward sloping trend line, horizontal resistance, and I go back in time, right? And I look at some things that we've had that were similar in the past. Let me go back on log scale. Well, I don't know why it's not on log scale. We go back all the way back over to, where is it? Let's say back over here. Okay, and this is obviously a bigger time frame pattern back here. But we look at this and we say, okay, upward sloping trend line, horizontal resistance, okay? And that's what kind of got us out of the bear market. Now, like I said, I'm projecting out. This can be invalidated, but we'll see, right? We will see. We have the makings of a bullish pattern. But I will continue to remind you guys that in a bear market, bullish patterns can break down more than they actually break up, to be honest. So let's let this play out. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. And where does this apex? The apex is right around the middle of February. So right around the time where I'm expecting some type of move for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's let this play out. Jobs numbers were released this morning. That's cool. The jobs numbers, man. I'm so sick of the Fed talk, man. I really am. The Fed talk, too. It's like, okay, I had a little phase where I liked it, but holy moly, man. Interest rates. Let's see. A clear crypto regulation framework for centralized exchanges. Hopefully we get that too. I was watching last night's stream and you said Sailor bought BTC. Sailor bought 2,500 BTC yesterday, which usually precedes a dump. I will say that. So that's something that's working against us. When Sailor buys Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's dumped pretty much every single time. But we've also been in a bear market, so it's likely that you do dump when Sailor buys. You could also argue that too. So it's about where and you could say, just kind of like we just talked about for Ethereum. I have the same pattern for Bitcoin here, where we have an upward sloping trend line and horizontal resistance. The only way this plays out is Bitcoin's going to crack this mid-range level. But even if it does, you're still probably looking at least sideways for into the middle of February, to the end of January. So it's about where we're at. I expect more boring, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to clickbait you with Bitcoin's going to moon, bull market coming. This indicator shows Bitcoin's going to 50K in January. I still see some of those, and I'm like, dude, it's not going to happen. That's about where we're at. All right, so I'm going to leave it as at that. We have the makings of a potential daily bullish pattern, but we need the news to continue to be kind of boring. We just don't want any bad news. So you guys know how it is. In a bear market, one bad news can ruin everything. Let's let this play out. But I think as long as we get no bad news by the beginning of February, I think this could continue to play out like this. Okay? But we got to be patient, right? Patience wins the game. This is the time where most people start leaving, because I will always say this: boring times are worse than bearish times, because at least in bearish it keeps you looking. It's exciting when the prices are going down. Maybe not exciting, maybe not the right word, but it's fearful, right? It gets your emotions involved. Boring, you got no emotions, right? And this is when people start dipping and saying, okay, I'm telling you right now, people are going to start thinking, man, crypto ain't doing anything. Stock markets are going down quick. Why am I going to stay in crypto when I can start buying these stocks like Tesla, 90% down from all-time highs, Amazon down 70% from all-time highs? I can get in those, which are quote-unquote safer, which I disagree with personally. You see the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin's been holding up like a rock, and these things have been getting crushed 50, 60%. That's just me. And that's when the turning point's going to happen, when people start shifting their money from crypto to stocks, thinking the stocks are safer. Stocks continue to plummet and Bitcoin actually holds up better. That's my philosophy going into 2023. That's when you start seeing the prices go up. When people say crypto's not worth it, you have more volatility in stocks because crypto's not moving, that's when the volatility comes back in crypto. And all those people come running back when the prices start going back up. Just like last time. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys at 6:30. Hopefully, like I said, we have more to talk about later tonight. The morning, I want to talk more about short-term charts. Tonight, we're going to go back to weekly charts, because that's what is important, and that's what we have to talk about at the moment. All right, later. Peace. Catch you guys at probably be 7 tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later. Gator. Stay warm out there. It's getting a little cold over here. And take some time off the charts, man. Take some time off the charts. This is the time to take time off the charts, because there'll come a time where you're going to be wanting to look at the charts 24/7. Your eyes are going to hurt because you're looking at the screen so much. And, yeah, so take a time off the charts, man. Peace!